Hello guys, it's me, TONIK TCW. We're here in the Tier 7 Loyang, which is a campaign reward Pan-Asian cruiser. She is beautiful in this camouflage, and that's why I've called this one the Painted Lady. And it is an epic two-man carry because this one is not all about me. Now, if you have a look at the team list, you'll see that there is a division on Red Team, and they have a Loyang as well, and a Georgia. And believe it or not, but I know those two guys, and Ian with Love always tries to make it a point that if we're in the same game together, he will do what he can to kill me, be it on live stream or not. It's only a bit of fun. It does annoy the hell out of me, but let's just say he sent me a little winky face just as this match started, and I thought, okay, yep, winky face, he's there in the game. I saw that after I received the winky face, and I knew exactly what it meant. But we're across here on AirCap. I've got two battleships behind me, which isn't going to be great if I'm running into destroyers, because their reloads are going to be super long, and that means I'm going to be fending for myself. Now, with there only being two destroyers in the game, and one of them being a Loyang, I'm equally matched with one. However, the Adachi, I'm not. But I know that if I get bumped and I don't see the destroyer, then it's likely that I've got the Adachi, and I would just run him down, light up sonar, and then go guns at him. But we've got a cruiser, we've got another cruiser, and we've got a battleship out there. That tells me that it's highly unlikely that we have a destroyer on this cap. And if you look across towards B cap, there's a Georgia on B cap, which means that Ian with Love in his Loyang is most likely on B cap. Now, for whatever reason, the saviour of this game, and he is a saviour because he pulls in an absolutely epic game, is going the long way around. C cap, that is our man Skyline in his turpits, and I didn't really understand why he was taking the long way around, because that normally takes a ship out of the game for far too long. Now, we miss with the first set of torpedoes, but two cruisers parked side by side like that. I mean, it's asking for a double strike, but given that I sort of fired one set of torpedoes a little bit too early, it's unlikely that we're going to get a double strike. But we are going to get a couple of torpedo hits there, and a flood, which is damage controlled straight away. Now, knowing that the Zara is there in his smoke screen, and there's also a Miyoko there, you've got to be expecting torpedoes if you're a battleship sailing straight into the middle of a capture point, which isn't the brightest idea, especially when there's a battleship down there and you're completely broadside to it as you turn to try and run away. Now, because I wasn't paying attention and was looking at the calamity that was unfolding before me, I get myself detected. So I decided that I'm going to go guns and try and get a fire on this Caracciolo before swinging my attention back round to the Miyoko. It looks as though our battleship has managed to get himself away. I'm running sonar because I'm expecting torpedoes from that Miyoko, and I'm going to slam the brakes on here and try and stay in this little semicircle of smokescreen until such time as I detect torpedoes, and then I'm going to run. Now, thankfully, the Zara has been taken care of, and as much as I think I'm going to get a kill here, come on, keep going. No, there we go. The New Jersey picks it up, but then the New Jersey himself dies to the Caracciolo. So, Wallet Warrior, perhaps? I don't know. It wasn't the smartest of moves, but, well, we trade a battleship on this side for two cruisers, and the other guy behind me has decided that he wants to run away, and so I think, well, the two cruisers are gone, the Caracciolo's out there on the flank by himself. We are going to take this cap, and then we are going to look at what we can do, because Red Team have secured B cap, and I'm thinking, if Ian with Love is going to come after me, now that he has a capture point, it completely frees him up. So what I have to keep my eye on the minimap is the Georgia and what he's doing. Because if he starts coming this way, that means that Ian with Love is coming this way in his Loyang. and that could put me in a very difficult position. But with the cap turning and the Caracciolo getting very close, and I was kind of hoping that our guys would take care of him as he's sailing in, but they are unable to. He's rolling his smoke screen, and so I'm going to open up distance. I am not going to sit on this capture point waiting for him to get close and then be at the mercy of his secondaries. I'm smarter than that. Most of the time anyway, but sometimes you've got to have a smart team around you. And you'll notice that our destroyer and our turrets have made it pretty much all the way around the outside of CCAP. It was a hell of a long way around. We're 5 minutes into the game it's taken them to get down there, but they are now going to go to work. The Georgia is backing off BCAP. I've no doubt that he's watching his target indicator to see if he's getting lit up. Caracciolo is running in. Now, what I don't understand is I fired 2 sets of torpedoes here, and they're pretty much overlapped. And something strange happens that I don't think should have happened. And it was so unusual that I did a double take and looked again, but much later on I realised what had happened. Allow me to take a swig of my tea while those torpedoes run. Now I could have fired 1 set at the Georgia and 1 set at the Caracciolo, but here they go. Torpedo hits, we get 3 hits, we get 3 floods, we get an incapacitation, and we get a cap reset. But it looks like an entire set of torpedoes went straight through him. But of course it wasn't. It was the overlap on those torpedoes, and he took some from the back of the first set and some from the front of the second set. And as I was saying earlier, I'm now the one that is located. Now that means that I am the closest to somebody running Twist and Track or Perceptive, and there's only one person in the game that's going to be running that, and that is Ian with Love in his Loyang. Now he told me that he's running 4.9 concealment. I'm not. I'm running 5.2. That means he's got 300 meters on me. We both obviously have the same range sonar. We both have a smoke screen. The only difference is he has a Georgia to back him up and I don't. And I'm looking around the map and thinking, who is here to help me? Nobody is here to help me, and the fact that the Georgia is turning in my direction leads me to believe that I am now being hunted. And when you're being hunted, there's only one thing you can do. Well, there's 2 actually. We're going to do one first of all, and then we're going to do the other. The first one is to run. And in doing so, turning, pushing back, this destroyer is doing entirely the wrong way. He's trying to torpedo a battleship from behind, which has given him more than enough notice that those torpedoes are coming to avoid them. And I'm going to put 1 set on each of these ships because I want to either try and trip up Ian with Love in his destroyer, who is obviously tracking me, or to land a hit on his buddy in the Georgia. Because if we can get a flood on him, Mr. Turpitz is quickly catching up, and that is going to do us a favour. We're having to bring him into range. So we get 2 or 3 hits and 2 floods, but we don't get a kill, and that is going to work completely in the favour of Skyline in his Turpitz, because I'm knocking chunks of health off these guys and he is just lining them up like 10 pins ready for knocking down. Now every time I turn, you'll notice that my speed bleeds off, and there we go, I am detected. There's only one thing I can do, and that is to light up sonar and hit my smoke. I don't know if he's got sonar available, but he obviously has. Now this is a trade-off, because he knows how well I play, I know how well he plays. The question is, who is going to be shooting at the destroyer and who is going to be shooting at the battleship? I'm going to have to repair that engine, because otherwise I'm going to be completely dead in the water. But we're going to stay on him, and he did tell me afterwards that he got a little bit fixated with hunting me. You'll notice that we are over 200 points down. But as soon as we get rid of his sonar and he's dead, we can switch attention to his buddy in the Georgia. So there we go. We get the kill, not him. I'm sorry, buddy. It was a fair fight. In fact, no, it wasn't a fair fight, because you had a Georgia backing you up. So it wasn't a fair fight at all. I was just lucky in the fact that I had somebody within range to try and help me out. And now I'm going to play Tricky Dicky. I don't know if those are gold traces or just yellow traces, but if the gold traces, somebody obviously paid for those. But guess what? They don't make your guns any better. So, Christy, I'm sorry. I was playing with my food, because I know that you need to run. You're thinking of running because you have this game on points. But our Turpitz is going to do an absolutely amazing job here, because I am so far away from the caps, it's painful, but I had to kite. I would have thought that the other destroyer might have turned in towards the capture points a little bit earlier, but he didn't. He kept coming in my direction. I don't know why that was. He didn't even turn into Charlie Cap to take that. But we're going to stay on the guns here. We go to try and get a fire every time he is lining up to fire his guns. I'm watching. Is he firing all turrets? Is he only firing one? He's looking for me to make a mistake, to misjudge myself, and to turn while he's got turrets available to fire at me. But there is a fire. I believe that one is permanent. No, it's not that one that's permanent. He's damage controlled. That means he is ripe for another fire, but there are 3 minutes and 50 seconds on the map. We lose the Helena, and here we go. Georgia is getting really annoyed with me, and we do take one on the chin. So what I'm trying to do is stay far enough away from here that his dispersion gives me a bit of a chance to slip between those shells. But what he doesn't know is I'm very good at deflection shooting at range, and there we go, that is a permanent fire. Now what I didn't see was the fact that this destroyer was going to run straight into me, and I really thought that Christy here was going to get himself a double strike, because the two destroyers were stuck together like Siamese twins. But we get a Confederate. We're going to keep laying on the fire. We get a High Caliber, and that is game over. Now what I did say is this isn't all about me. 122,500 damage, High Caliber and Confederate at the last second. But as we switch across to the result screen, what you will see is that Skyline picked himself up a 6-pack with High Caliber, Confederate, Kraken Unleashed, and a close quarters kill. An absolutely epic game. So, sehr gut gespielt. That's my best German, I'm afraid. So I really hope you did enjoy that one. It certainly was. Two people carrying an entire team from a solid defeat into a rather shameful victory. So sorry, Red Team, but we had you dialed in there at the end. I hope you've liked this one. Share it with your friends, smash the like button, leave me a comment, and don't forget, if you haven't done so, please do subscribe to the channel. We're almost to 900. Take care and goodbye.